So hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and today I will be doing my Pandas eyeshadows update for August. And for those of you who don't know what Pandas eyeshadows is, it's basically a project pan where you go through your eyeshadows, and I pick ones that could be singles or eyeshadows and palettes, and I randomize them and I assign them each a number, usually by the order I had obtained them. And then I work on it until I hit pan, or until I hit a separate criteria, but usually I work on an eyeshadow until I hit pan. But if I don't like an eyeshadow, I can roll it out. And yeah, so this is the August update, which means that this is not new. I did hit a pan, which is exciting, but at the same time not that exciting because this eyeshadow was very, very easy to hit pan on. So let's just get started. So the first eyeshadow comes from the Too Faced Let's Play palette. It's very cute. This, the shadow I was using is called Multiplayer, and I used it 2 times this update for a total of 11 uses to hit pan, and that pan is not tiny. Like, look at that. This palette smells really good, but I actually really do not like this palette. So I don't like this shadow, and I don't like the shadow next to it. It's just, this palette has such a bad formula, and I don't know if you can tell, but all over it there's just like eyeshadow dust, like all over this. And this is a type of eyeshadow that no matter how much I packed on, it would not stick. But it's very fine, so that I have like some on my finger, you really can't see it, but it's very fine. So this type of eyeshadow works well with a glitter primer, whereas like the chunkier eyeshadows like from the Pumpkin Spice palette don't work that well with the glitter. But I just did not like this. It did not stick to my lids. It only stuck when I used a glitter primer, which I didn't use all the time because I was just trying to get like, you know, a little bit on my outer corner, except it would disappear, so then I'd have to put more on my outer corner to get this, like, I guess glitter or sparkles to stay. I have no idea what formula it is other than it is not matte and it sucks. I originally bought this palette because of the packaging. It's a cute little Game Boy, and, well, specifically Game Boy Advanced, which I had growing up. So it got me with the nostalgia, but this is just the worst quality Too Faced palette that I've worked with so far, and I'm glad to have this out of my project. Moving on to another Too Faced eyeshadow palette. I chose a shade from this palette, which is the Too Faced That's My Jam palette. I bought this one for the color story, and I actually like it way more than the other one, even though this has way worse reviews. The color that I got, or the shade I got, is called Spread It, and I used it a total of 8 times this month for a total of 17 uses. As you can see, that Spread It right there, it's got a very, very deep pan in it. I'm hoping that this is the next eyeshadow that I work on. I like to put this all over my crease, but this also is not very pigmented. I don't know what's up with the Too Faced shadows that I have right now, like the newer ones. But they're just not very pigmented. I'm pretty sure if I use this like 2 more times, I'll see pan, which is impressive because most of the time Too Faced eyeshadows, for me, especially mattes, are really difficult to hit pan in. But this one, I think it's because I've been wearing it like more often. Even though I only wore it 8 times, but like, you know, whenever I reach for the shade, I feel like I need a lot of it to get it to show up. And yeah, so I don't know what's up with their formula in these 8 pans, because I feel like in the past Too Faced had much better eyeshadow quality. But yeah, this is very not pigmented, so if you see this at Marshall's and you're like a beginner to makeup, this is probably like an okay purchase. Next, I have the Too Faced Pumpkin Spice palette. The shade I was working on was called Whipped Cream, and I chose it as kind of like an easy shade to work on, so it's right here. I've only used it twice for a total of 4 uses. It barely looks used, and the reason for that is because I was reaching into a different palette because I have a very similar shade in one of my other project pans. But I made an exception for this one because I really needed a break from colorful shadows. So I decided to work on this one. But I have, like I said, a dupe for this shade in another project pan. I'm trying to actually finish that shadow. And I think I have about 2 more weeks on that. And then I'll be focusing on this one only. But that's why progress on this is basically non-existent. And looking at my numbers, I really feel like I forgot to mark some numbers very similarly to my project pan, my regular project pan series, because my numbers were unusually low for like July. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I forgot to mark some numbers, but yeah, only used this twice apparently. I'm pretty sure I've reached for more than that. The next eyeshadow comes from my Persona Cosmetics Identity 2 palette. It is the shade Driven, and I used it 3 times this month for a total of 6 uses, and 3 times is the most I've ever used it. Right there. I like to pair this with Too Faced Spread It, so I'll spread it all over my lid and then, or like all over my crease, and then Driven on my lower lid to kind of like add some dimension, because that's how I prefer to wear my eyeshadows. Mattes all over the crease and then a metallic on my lower third, and then if I'm not at work, I will usually try to darken my outer corner with a darker color. And the last shade comes from the Huda Beauty Nude palette. My brother gave this to me, and I feel really bad because I kind of didn't reach for it for a very long time. But I was working on the shade Love Bite, and I used it 6 times. I rolled it in the last update, so there's no prior use. So 6 uses for a total of 6 uses, and it's a shade right here. It's a purple, which is perfect because I don't like purple mattes. So using this was a bit of a challenge. I did pair it with the Persona Cosmetics Driven once, and it looked a little bit too dark and muddy. So now I just use it in the outer corner whenever I'm using Too Faced Spread It. So I'll have like a pink all over my lid, this darker purple in my outer crease, and then some metallic over my lower third. So that's how I like to use this. It's too dark for me to wear as like the main color. Okay, and because I did hit pan on one eyeshadow, I'm rolling it out. I'm probably going to destroy that eyeshadow because it's so terrible and I never want to roll it again. Not that I would put it back in this project pan because it already has pan in it, but I just never want to see it. It's so messy. Like, my fingers are covered in it right now, so yeah. Maybe I should just declutter that palette. But like, it was so cute and I wanted it so bad that I actually like spent, I don't think I paid full price for it, but no, I didn't. I actually got it on points, so I feel even less bad about decluttering it, but I don't think I could give that away to anyone because it's such a shitty formula. Moving on to the eyeshadow I picked this off camera because it's just way faster for me. So I drew the shade number 11 out of 48. And the reason why it's only 48 this time is because I got I did purchase 5 new Urban Decay palettes from their website. It was half off, and then I used a coupon, so I got it on even bigger discount, except after tax it pretty much brought me back up to half off because living in California is super expensive. But yeah, so the way I picked it was in order of how bad I wanted the palette. So it went Naked Honey, Naked Reloaded, Naked Wild West, and then Naked Heat. The 5th one I am planning on donating. It is the Ultraviolet palette. Number 11 comes from Naked Honey. It is the 11th shade in this palette, which is, I think it's HBIC, which means Head Bitch in Charge. The only reason I know that is because my friend told me that. Or my friend's nickname in our group chat is HBIC. And it's a shadow right here. It's really, okay, on camera it looks really brown, but in person it's copper, which is really nice. I feel like I could actually use this on a daily basis Well, I should swatch it first probably. This is my first time touching it. Oh my god, look at that. It's so pretty. The eyeshadow is a little bit domed. Holy shit, look at that swatch. I mean, there's a little bit of chunks right here, but that is so pretty. I used to wear colors like this a lot more when I was in college, I think, but now on the weekends I try to do more colorful looks because, well, I see people less than I did in college, and so I don't have to worry about, like, you know, scaring someone away because their look is too colorful. So yeah, that's everything. I hope you enjoyed this video, this very quick update, and I'm gonna go swatch everything after this, but there's still eyeshadow on my finger and I've already swatched it on my wrist and the back of my hand, so I'm just trying to like wipe it off before I have to go wash my hands. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next month, hopefully with another pan, but we'll see. Bye!